Get ready to dive into a chilling and mysterious story. We will follow Reddit user Mark Smith 1996 as he decides to explore an abandoned house in his town, after hearing various eerie stories about the place. Mark's courage leads him to uncover disturbing secrets and confront the unknown. The story you are about to read is based on real accounts and promises to immerse you in a world of terror and suspense. Without further ado, let's begin Mark Smith 1996's journey through the abandoned house. It was a night like any other, and I was browsing Reddit as usual. I've always been fascinated by scary stories, so when I came across a post about an abandoned house in my town, my curiosity was instantly piqued. The stories about that house were known to everyone. They said it was haunted, that screams could be heard at night, and that shadows could be seen through the windows. I had heard these stories all my life, but I had never had the courage to explore the house on my own. However, that night, something inside me changed. I decided it was time to face my fears and find out the truth about that abandoned house. Armed with a flashlight, my smartphone to document the adventure and a little courage, I set out towards the house. As I arrived, I felt a shiver run down my spine. The house stood before me, imposing and silent. With a racing heart, I pushed the door open and entered the abandoned house. The air was heavy and dusty, and the sound of my footsteps echoed through the empty corridors. I knew that night would be different from any other. I was about to uncover the dark secrets that the house held and share my discoveries with the online world. Inside the house, the silence was deafening. Every step echoed through the empty hallways, creating a sense of unease that seemed to intensify with each passing moment. I knew I was alone, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. As I explored the rooms, my flashlight illuminated furniture covered in dusty sheets, old portraits on the walls, and an atmosphere of abandonment that made me shudder. I climbed the creaky stairs and continued my search. In one of the rooms, I found a box full of old photographs. The pictures showed a happy family, but there was something about their expressions that seemed off, as if they were hiding a dark secret. Intrigued, I continued my exploration. Each room revealed a little more of the mysterious house's history. Each object found, each photo seen, increased my curiosity and my determination to uncover the secrets it held. Finally, I reached the attic. A locked door caught my attention. Determined to find out what was on the other side, I forced the door open and entered a secret room. What I found there would change my life forever. Inside the secret room, I was confronted with a scene that sent chills down my spine. In the center of the room, there was a table covered with strange objects, melted candles, old books, and mysterious symbols drawn on the floor. It was clear that this place had been used for some kind of dark ritual. My curiosity overcame my fear, and I began to investigate the objects carefully. It was then that I found an old diary, hidden under a pile of dusty papers. As I flipped through its yellowed pages, a sinister story unfolded before my eyes. The diary belonged to the youngest daughter of the family that had lived in the house. She described encounters with supernatural entities, horrifying visions, and the constant fear that she and her family felt. It seemed that the family was being tormented by forces beyond human understanding. The diary's final entry revealed that the family had disappeared mysteriously, leaving behind only the horror they had experienced. The house was not just haunted. It was a place where evil had left its indelible mark. With my heart racing, I realized that I had stumbled upon something beyond my wildest expectations. This was not just an abandoned house. It was a place where terror lurked in the shadows, waiting for its next victim. My mind was filled with unanswered questions. What had really happened to that family? What were those supernatural entities? And most importantly, would I be able to leave that house unscathed? But one thing was certain. I was determined to uncover the truth, no matter what. After all, curiosity killed the cat, But I am not a cat. I am just a man in search of the truth, even if it is more terrifying than I could imagine. Armed with the diary, my determination to unravel the mystery of the abandoned house only grew. The story of the family that had lived there, plagued by supernatural forces and disappearing without a trace, was more than I could have imagined. I decided I needed to investigate further. I returned to the rooms of the house, looking more closely at every detail, every object, hoping to find more clues about what really happened there. That's when I found a secret passage in the basement. A false wall led to a narrow, dark corridor that seemed to extend beneath the house. With my flashlight illuminating my path, I entered the passage, determined to discover what else the house was hiding. The corridor led to an underground room where I found something that sent shivers down my spine. An ancient altar surrounded by candles and strange symbols. It appeared to be the place where the rituals described in the diary were performed. In the center of the altar, there was an old statue depicting a sinister entity. Instinctively, I recoiled, feeling a chill run down my spine. It was as if the statue was watching me, as if it had a life of its own. I decided it was time to leave the house before something bad happened to me. I ran towards the exit, feeling as if something was following me, as if the shadows were moving around me. As I exited the house, I breathed a sigh of relief, but I knew the mystery was far from solved. The story of that abandoned house, the vanished family, and the dark rituals would continue to haunt me, even after leaving that cursed place. But one thing I knew for sure: I had survived that experience, and I was determined to tell my story to the world, hoping to warn others to stay away from that house and its macabre secrets.